Well, hey YouTube, Dean of DVD here, and a little different angle, a little different than I usually do because I've got a big box to undo or unbox, and this one is special for me. Not just because I know what it is, and not just because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, but it's from somebody very special who I've gotten to know in the last year or so. He, very kind soul. I've said this before, but probably the most generous guy on YouTube that I'm aware of. And this certainly is an example of that right here. Hope I can do this unboxing justice. First of all, it's from Falagar. Sam, thank you. It's a birthday present. I did send him one, but I didn't expect one back. I also sent him a Christmas thing a year or so ago when he was kind of, you know, not in a Christmas spirit, I guess you'd say, and I sent him something. Didn't want anything in return, and but he's not that kind of guy. In fact, he's the guy that sends stuff normally. And anybody who knows Sam for any length of time, who's gotten to know him, is very aware of how generous he is. Maybe too generous, Sam, but you know, all I can say is thank you. Sincere thank you for this. It's something that, you know, in everybody's collection, there's certain stuff that you'd love to have, but you just, oh, I can't spend that. And so this is one of those things that'd be like, you know, I'd love to have it, but I just can't spend the money. Well, Sam decided he can spend the money, and man, again, all I can say is thank you. It came in a big box today. Today's Columbus Day, but that, as you know, Amazon still delivers. Look at the size of the box this thing came in. Look at this. Huge box. And I don't know what to say other than, again, thank you, Sam. Yeah, I've never really seen this up close, so this is going to be a, oh wow, it's big. It's really big. Get rid of the box and show you this. This is the 50th anniversary limited edition Lawrence of Arabia box set, and it is big, guys. I don't know how, if you can judge how large that is, but it's big and it's beautiful. Lawrence of Arabia is one of my favorite movies of all time. And if you don't know much about the movie, let me just tell you a little bit about the movie as I hold this up. Lawrence of Arabia, winner of numerous, was it 7 Academy Awards, including the 1962 Best Picture. It starred Peter O'Toole, and Peter O'Toole was kind of really an unknown actor. He has done a few things, but he was certainly not a big talent. And this was his first major role, and oh my God, he hit it out of the park. It's hard to imagine anybody else playing this role that he played so well. It's, of course, it's a timeless story. It's a timeless masterpiece, really. He stars as T.E. Lawrence, the audacious World War I British Army officer who heroically united rival Arab desert tribes and led them to war against the mighty Turkish Empire. I mean, it's an amazing film. It's an amazing story, for that matter. And T.E. Lawrence, the character, the man, was amazing. Peter O'Toole's depiction of him is equally amazing. And this thing has got, first of all, it's got a big, thick book. It's a 80-page book. I think it's 80 pages. 88-page coffee table-sized book in here. 4 discs, 3 Blu-rays, and then a CD of music. And then, of course, this beautiful slip cover that goes over. Oh, and a film cell as well. So you've got, it's a limited edition collector's packaging, of course. 88-page coffee table book with rare behind-the-scenes photos, individually numbered 70 millimeter mounted film frame. The all-new 4K restoration of the feature film on Blu-ray disc number 1. Also on that is Secrets of Arabia, Picture in Graphics track, which is a Blu-ray exclusive. I'm not really sure what that is, but I mentioned during the movie you can pull that up or get to it. Blu-ray disc 2 has Peter O'Toole revisiting Lawrence of Arabia, the making of Lawrence of Arabia documentary, a conversation with Steven Spielberg, Mon Jordan, The Camels Are Cast, In Search of Lawrence, Romance of Arabia, Wind, Sand, and Star, the making of a classic, newsreel footage of the New York premiere, theatrical advertising campaigns. You know, this was, first of all, directed by David Lean. This is the kind of movie that was made back when you still were on location for things, you know, when everything was in CGI. When they're in the desert, they're in the fucking desert. When they're riding a camel, they're riding a camel. It's not a CGI depiction of a camel. It's a freaking camel. When it looks like it's 100 degrees out, it was 100 degrees out. It was in the desert. This thing was filmed in Arabia, in Saudi Arabia, and I'm not exactly sure all the locations. They do visit the locations. Just amazing stuff. Theatrical advertising campaign also is on Blu-ray Disc 2. Blu-ray Disc 3, which is exclusive to this set, has never before released deleted scenes with an introduction by Anne V. Coates. I'm not sure who Anne V. Coates is, quite frankly. Oh, she was the editor. She was the editor of the film, all right. Good one to talk about it. The Lure of the Desert. Martin Scorsese talks about Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence at 50, a classic restored right here. In Love with the Desert. King Hussein visits the Lawrence of Arabia set. Wind, Sand, and Star, the original 1963 version. I'm not sure what that is, because Wind, Sand, and Star, the making of a classic, the 1970 version is on disc 2. So the 1963 version's on disc 3. It's probably some sort of a making of. Archival interviews with William Friedkin of Exorcist fame, Sidney Pollack, and Steven Spielberg. Trailers and TV spots. And then finally, the fourth disc, the only CD, is the soundtrack CD. It's got just a glorious soundtrack for Lawrence of Arabia. Two previously unreleased tracks in the original score from the film. I'm not speechless, but I don't know what I am. I'm something. It's really nice, Sam. Thank you. I really appreciate this. This is really nice. It's rare to get something this nice. So I really appreciate it. Well, let's pop it open here and take a look at it. Huh? And thankfully it unwraps, you know, pretty nicely. It's not a thing that's a fight with it. Okay, beautiful. Now I've never seen it in person before. It has the ultraviolet copy with it too somehow. So, all right, so this whole thing slides up, which is nice. So you've got this beautiful slip that goes over it. Clear plastic, really nice looking. That goes over the whole thing. This is why I wanted this new camera angle, so I could show some of this. Then you've got the book inside of here. Let's see. There's a little pull on this to pull the whole thing out. So now you've got this box, and this is a heavy cardboard box, by the way. This is going to go underneath the other one for now, like that. And then you've got, wow, now you've got another pull tab in here to help you open this to get the book out. Wow, look at this book. Holy shit. Put this down for a minute. Here's the book. It is 88 pages, and it is gorgeous and pristine. Here's just a shot from the movie, just show you the beauty of this movie. If you haven't seen Lawrence of Arabia, the David Lean, well, there's only one. There's no one else is going to remake this, trust me. If you haven't seen David Lean's Lawrence of Arabia starring Peter O'Toole, you need to watch this movie. It is a gorgeous, epic movie. Yeah, it's a little long. Take a break. But watch it. Watch it over 2 nights if you have to. It is just a beautiful, beautiful movie. You just don't see movies like this anymore. You just don't. This is an introduction by Steven Spielberg. And it says, there was no other director like David Lean. His ability to draw you into the intimate portraits of his characters, of people like T.E. Lawrence, was remarkable. Lawrence of Arabia is the definitive epic, and I believe that. I believe that it is the epic movie to watch. Unrivaled in its capacity to combine pageantry and intimacy, and is the perfect example of the gift that only Lean had. He was able to awe you with spectacle, and at the same time move you with the poignancy of a small personal struggle. Still, to this day, this film is one of the primary influences on both my career and my interpretation of the human condition. It inspires me just as much now as it did when I first saw it in 1962. Boy, what I would have given, I'm not old enough to have seen it in 1962, but man, what I would have given to see this on the big screen when it premiered. You know, the big widescreen with this pageantry that he talks about there. And every page here is filled with just, oh man, beautiful shots of the desert and you know, he led a rebellion of sorts. I mean, he led a war. So when they shot this thing, I mean, they literally shot this thing. And we've all seen, I guess, some sort of movie like this one time or another. This one was the horses and the camels, and, you know, amazing. All these extras and all these people, thousands of them. This is called The Right Balance. Yeah. Lawrence of Arabia's exalted place in film history derives from more than just its pictorial beauty, superb cast, and gripping adventure. Without its riveting character study of T.E. Lawrence, the film might have remained mere spectacle. Instead, Lawrence himself becomes a mystery we yearn to decipher, and the picture finds just the right balance between grand sweep and personal drama. There's a picture of the actual T.E. Lawrence, and a picture of, on here in the black and white, and then a picture of, look at that picture, Peter O'Toole sitting in the sand dune, overlooking and probably thinking about his role and thinking about T.E. Lawrence. But who is T.E. Lawrence? The one word most often to describe T.E. Lawrence is enigmatic. His remarkable story and personal complexities have driven public curiosity for over 90 years, and there exist as many interpretations of Lawrence as there are books, articles, and documentaries on the man. Yeah. Well, he was British, and he led a, much like Gandhi, I guess, in India, he led a rebellion of sorts. Yeah. There's maps here in the Sinai Desert, the Ottoman Empire, Egypt. So this was probably filmed in Saudi Arabia, Egypt, you know, near Cairo. Wow. Amazing stuff. And here is here's a picture of Peter O'Toole. He had astonishing blue eyes, and you can probably see that from the picture there. Glorious Technicolor. You know, they don't make movies like this anymore with this color. They just don't. So many great images in this that I'll be flipping through. And so many great things to read about here. Picture of David Lean directing, talking about how he got this onto the screen. And the book is in pristine shape. Of course, it's new, but you know, you never know when you open something up how it's going to be. It's in beautiful shape. Well, Sam, this is quite the present. I'll say that. It's amazing. I'll just be fascinated with this book for years to come. That's the nice thing about a coffee table book. You know, you can pick this thing up and just leaf through it. And you know, whether it's checking out the map of the Jordan area here, or reading more about the movie. That's why I like Criterion movies. But even the Criterion collection doesn't have anything like this. Just amazing stuff. This is a very enigmatic scene. This is when he first sort of decides that he's going to take on the mantle where he gets the confidence. And then here's a very telling scene here. I need to watch this again. It's been a while since I watched Lawrence of Arabia. It is a movie that you sit down and just let it absorb you. And it will. It will absorb you big time. These pages are thick. You almost think you're getting 3 or 4, but you're getting 1 because it's a very, very thick. They filmed in Spain. They filmed in the desert. Oh man, there's just so many things here. And it's true. In addition to this, they were in Morocco. It says, in addition to this epic quality of the movie, there's this individual. I guess you'd say personal struggle. There's the book. I could spend a lot of time with the book, but let me get to the full frame that's in here. 70mm print. So now you come down to the movie itself and the 70mm print. Beautiful. Beautiful print. You're not going to be able to see this, but it's a beautiful print. It's individually numbered. Mine is 23502. And it is a beautiful, it's a, it's like Lawrence, as far as I can tell, on a blue, like nighttime sky almost. It's really pretty. I'm really happy to have that. It's some of them are not as pretty as others. This one is. And then you've got the disc case that's got, yeah. There should be somewhere, it says it's got ultraviolet. I wonder how that works, because I don't see any codes or anything in here. There may be one hidden that I'm not aware of, but I'll find it, I guess, eventually. So far I haven't seen it. It might be in the book. It's not in the disc, from what I can tell, anyway. You've got the soundtrack here. And then you've got disc 1 on the Blu-ray, disc 2 and disc 3. And there is artwork behind it all. I'm not going to show that, but there's the soundtrack, disc 1. Disc 2 and disc 3. Yeah, I do have to find the ultraviolet though, because I would like to add this to my. I don't have it on ultraviolet to the best of my knowledge. And then you've got the performed by the London Philharmonic Symphony. You've got the listing of the tracks, the overture at 4 minutes. You know, back in the day when they showed an epic film like this, they'd have an overture. Gone with the Wind has one. They have an overture where they'd play this before the film would start, and it normally would just be perhaps a panoramic scene, or perhaps nothing. Perhaps it just would say overture and it would play, and that was part of the ambiance of the film. And then eventually that would fade and you go into the film. End credits and exit music, all on here. London Philharmonic Orchestra. So I'll put that back in the disc. The other side is just more classics on Blu-ray, but I'll face it so I can see that. Still don't see though the ultraviolet, so that is going to be a mystery. Probably in the book, and I missed it because it does say on the front here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what it says here. Digital ultraviolet. See inside for redemption instructions. Expires 12/31/2016. It should be someplace. Not on this, so someplace in here there's instructions on how to do that. Let me see here. Let me just see if it's underneath this somehow. It's not underneath it, so it's not there. And it's not underneath the full frame. My guess it's in the book, and I didn't go through every last page. It's probably stuck in there someplace. So let me put this back in. You know, this is the type of set that I'm not going to mind unpacking this whenever I want to watch it, because it's just so special, really. I mean, it's unique, and it's the type of movie that deserves this. I can't think of too many more that do, quite frankly. For me, anyway. Let's see if I can find that ultraviolet in here real quick as I flip through it. If not, I'll do a more thorough search later. It's you know, it's a lot to flip through here, 88 pages. There are some things in here. And it may even be directions somewhere on one of the pages that I haven't read yet, because there's all sorts of information here. Maybe something on one of the pages that tells you how to do that. I'll figure it out. Yeah, beautiful though. There's a section here on the Academy Awards. It won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, Best Musical Score, Best Sound, Best Art Direction. That's what it won. It was nominated for a bunch of Best Actor, Peter O'Toole, and Omar Sharif, both. Yeah. Well, Peter O'Toole should have won. I don't know who the hell won that year. If it wasn't him, I don't know who it could have been. I really don't. But I'm sure whoever won it, or deserved to win it, I suppose. But it'd be hard to imagine Peter O'Toole's going to win for this, quite frankly. Anyway, I don't see the code in here, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I will find it. It's in here someplace, and I'll locate it. There is the beautiful book. That's going to go back in for now. And wow, look at this. Sam, really, you've outdone yourself, my friend. This is something, I'll tell you that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then the beautiful box that this whole thing is going to go in. This is going to get a very special place in my collection, as you would imagine. When you've got something this beautiful, you display it. And this certainly is worth displaying. It's just a beautiful, whoever conceptualized this package did a fucking amazing job of it. I mean, look at this thing. It's just beautiful. And it's going to go on my shelf. I'm not sure which shelf. Probably like this one here or this one up here. But I'll find a place for it where it'll be behind me in all my videos, and where I can see it, to remind me, first of all, that this is an amazing package, and second of all, to remind me of Sam that got it for me. So, Sam, thanks again. Nothing else I can say but thank you. Lawrence of Arabia. I got it. 50th anniversary edition. One of my favorite movies of all time, and one of the best editions I've ever seen. So, yeah, I highly recommend this one. If you're a fan of the movie, man, but wait for it to go on sale. It can be a little pricey, but my God, is it worth it. Lawrence of Arabia. All right. That's it, guys. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.